Hello and welcome to Aliens Revealed Live. I'm your host, Dean Caparella, here on the Paranormal UK radio network. From alien abductions to monster-infested ranches to men in black, near-death experiences, close encounter experiences and more, we speak to some of the most amazing people on the planet, ready and willing to share their chilling stories with you. And they all come from the Aliens Revealed Live files here on the Paranormal UK radio network. Well, are the extraterrestrials who created humanity returning to Earth? According to the Raelian Movement, the answer is a resounding yes. The Raelian Movement has a message to give to the public. It's a vast array of information regarding our origin and our future, given to its spiritual leader Rael more than 45 years ago by the ET scientists who created all life on Earth. Leon Ariel Mellul is a spokesperson for the Raelian Movement, and he'll elaborate on this extraordinary message shortly. Not that we should be surprised that at some stage in our future, ETs will announce themselves to the world. After all, they've been doing it to millions of individual people for thousands of years. This message may not surprise the millions of individual contact experiences around the world as they've been living their own private alien disclosure, and many for a lifetime. But the Raelian message is unique in its presentation, and I'm tipping, while many will welcome it with open arms, others will dismiss it. There's little doubt that the messenger, Maitreya Rael, whose first encounter with a race of ETs called the Elohim, has gotten the attention of the UFO-believing public. Rael first encountered the Elohim on December 13, 1973. They arrived and they met him in a volcanic crater in France. He had a second meeting with these ETs in October 1975. This time it was in the Périgord region of France. What did they reveal to him? In the first visit, they explained life on Earth didn't occur by accident but was created by them. And in his second meeting, Rael was taken on board an ET craft to their planet where he met some of history's greatest prophets. When are these ETs coming back? Well, between now and 2035. With what's going on in the world right now, many will say they can't come quick enough. Mellul says most of the requests Rael received from them before their return have been met. The first was to create a movement and spread the message he's received. One request yet to be met is the erection of an embassy near Jerusalem. This is where the Elohim will officially meet the world's political leaders. Mellul says these extraterrestrials do not want to impose themselves on humanity. They want to be invited. The Elohim have stated to Rael that they want to meet the world's political leaders. But are these leaders even aware that an embassy is being built as an invitation to welcome them to Earth? Leon Ariel Mellul joins us now to discuss this amazing forecast.
Hi, Dean. Nice. Thank you.
This is quite an incredible story. I've gone through a lot of the notes that you sent me, but the encounter firstly happened in 1973. Can you talk about that?
Absolutely. On December 13, 1973, it was a man that was a journalist in Sport Cat magazine, and he got the feeling to go to a certain place, which is an old volcano in France. And he had work to do, and all of a sudden, when he climbed up there, it was a little bit chilly, and he asked himself, what I'm doing here? I have work to do in my office, and he was going to leave. And all of a sudden, he saw something shining from the sky. He thought it was an helicopter at the beginning. Then some flashing light, and there was no noise. And he didn't move because he realized it was a spaceship. Then he saw a ladder opening and 2 feet coming down. And at the beginning, he had the impression that it was a kid because the person that came out of the spaceship was about between 1.35 meters and 1.50 meters, maybe not that much. And then he got close to him and he addressed, at that time, the person that is Rael, that became Rael, that they give him the name of Rael, he was called Claude Vorion, which is a French name. Then he asked, do you speak French? And the extraterrestrial replied, I speak all language on earth. And you come here because we telepathically induct you to come here and meet with us because we have a very important message for you. We know who you are. You're married, you have 2 kids, you are in this and that, you have this profession and you like cars and all that. But here it's why we have been following you since a long time ago and even before you were born.
Wow.
He was really surprised and shocked at that time. He was, and extraterrestrial invite him to his crew. And he told me, we are the Elohim of the Bible. Elohim in Hebrew means those, in ancient Hebrew, means those who come from the skies, and are the ones that are called God in Hebrew, are Elohim, who is a plural name, of course. And he told him, we are the one that created all kind of life on earth over 25,000 years ago. And we have a message for you. We want you to spread this message worldwide, to inform all populations and build us an embassy where we can come and give you our scientific heritage, of which is over 25,000 years ahead of you. Now, this embassy is the 3rd temple the Jewish people want to build. And if you read the message, and if you have read the message on the book, Intelligent Design, in that book, it's mostly about verses of the Bible confirming the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization in the original Hebrew Bible and not a single God.
Okay. Did Rael find out why he was actually chosen?
He found out, yeah. He found out after they told him, because he had 2 encounters. One of them was on December 13, 1973. They met with him during 6 days at the same place. He was not allowed to talk to anyone, like it is written in the book. And on October 7, 1975, they came again and they took him to their planet for 25 hours.
Wow.
And then he could understand many, many things. And as Jesus was the son of one of these Elohim and woman of the earth, Rael also is the son of one of them and a woman of the earth.
What part of the universe did they take him to?
Well, they're in the same galaxy, but on another solar system. But which part, I can't tell you, and he will not. He can't tell you either because we don't know. Yeah.
Why did Rael accept the message, the mission? I mean, that must have been pretty overwhelming to be confronted by an ET and being told you've been chosen to spread this message for us, considering that at that stage of our human history, any mention of UFO and aliens would have had you probably committed.
Yes. Well, he at the beginning, he was like in shock because he has his own business. His passion was sport cars, racing. And, he said, well, okay, I'll write this book that they give me. I write it down. I try to spread it as the better I can. And of course, people will not believe me and this will end, And, I did what they told me and it didn't work. This was what he wishes. Unfortunately, or fortunately mostly, it didn't happen that way. He was invited to a television show, which someone very famous in France. And he brought this book and he had the interview. And during this interview, thousands and thousands of people contacted him after that. The mailman was coming with full bags of letters from people that said, this is what we always believe and we understand and we want to help you. So the story started there.
Yeah. The reason why
started there mostly.
Okay, the reason why I asked why he was chosen, because over the years there have been a number of people who have come out and had similar encounters. I recently did a report on the Billy Meyer prophecies, and Billy had a similar encounter back in the 1940s about spreading information that he was being fed to by an alien race. But I'm just trying to get my head around this. So if they created all life on Earth and have chosen Rael as their messenger, then who are the other aliens who are contacting these other people and getting them to spread a similar message?
Listen, I know, Dean, these people that have contacted him are the Elohim. Now, it doesn't mean they are the only ones in the universe. As you know, the universe is infinite. Mm-hmm. There are many lives. There are many planets, many galaxies who are habitated by many other civilizations, many other extraterrestrials. Who knows what happened before or who contacted who? What we know is about this wonderful message that is confirmed. And as a Jew, and I have studied Hebrew, I have found out that the original Hebrew Bible and many Hebrew scripts confirm the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization. They are many, and they're living on another planet. And these are the series of lectures that I'm giving. And I don't know if you have seen the last one I have given in English.
Yes.
So you have an idea with all the elements and all the proofs confirming that the message of the Elohim they give to Rael.
Okay, so going through the Bible, the Old Testament, especially Genesis, who do the Elohim? Are they mentioned in those texts?
No, it's not mentioned, but the name they give him, which is Rael. That's, as you know, it's part of the name Israel. So
right.
Many Jews tell me why they give him the name of Rael and who can prove that he is the Messiah or the messenger of the Elohim or a prophet or whatever. Listen, we cannot confirm anything, but they cannot confirm the opposite as well. Well, what I mean on that is that the Elohim have give him this message that he brought to earth. And what's important to know about it is that if Rael, they give him the name of Rael, which is the root of the word Israel, and they give him this message, they wouldn't have given him their symbol, which is a Star of David with a swastika, which is against all Jewish, people that they believe the swastika, it's a Nazi symbol.
Yeah.
Well, and this symbol is the Elohim symbol, and it's the oldest on earth. And I have been living in Israel for 18 years, and this symbol is in few places in Israel.
Right.
And not only in Israel, as you probably know, this swastika have been there since ages before Hitler that used it to harm people, to make this symbol hated by people.
It's still being used today.
And he knew what he was doing because that symbol is part of the Star of David. At the beginning, at the original, it was part of the Star of David, and this in all Hindu temples and Asian temples, which is swastika is a symbol of peace, which represent infinity in time.
Right. Going back to the book of Genesis, the fallen angels, are they part of this alien race?
Sure. The fallen angels, which are the Nephilim in Hebrew, it means those who fall down.
Right.
And many Hebrew people, they tell you during my lectures, they tell you Nephilim are giants, which have nothing to do with giants, because Nephilim in Hebrew is those who fall down, and Anakim is giants, which is two different things.
Did the ETs mention to Rael whether these giants were still present on our planet?
No, no. According to what I read in the book, it was never mentioned any giants.
Okay, so the start of Genesis, the God, God basically said, let's make them in our image. So I'm assuming these aliens,
Their image.
yeah. So I'm assuming these aliens look like us.
Absolutely, they created us to their image and their likeness, as was written in the original Bible.
Okay,
it was a scientific experience for them. Because as you read in the book, at the beginning, they started to create life on their planet, and they created some kind of people or monsters. I don't know what comes out of there. And they escape and kill and hurt people. And the government of their planet decided that they will forbid anyone to create life on their planet. Mm-hmm. Then they told him, when you will be ready, go and find a planet elsewhere and do whatever you want there. But never tell them we are extraterrestrial civilization.
Right.
You know, because we were not, they were not ready at that time, because they created us a little bit more intelligent, but even more aggressive and bigger and stronger. So it was a little fear for them. And this was where the Tower of Babel, it was not a tower, it was a spaceship.
Right.
They built to go and attack the Elohim. And this is why they changed all languages and nobody could understand each other.
Yeah. The popular theory, of course, is that the Anunnaki created us as a species. Are these the same? Are these the same aliens?
Sure. Anunnaki are the Elohim. And when even the Muslims, when they call Allah, before the Quran was written, it was Ellaha. Ellaha, which means Eloha. Eloha is the singular of the word Elohim.
Okay. The Elohim, by other names that they've been given over the years, who are they known as in other religions?
When the original Bible was translated, they changed the word Elohim, which is our Lord's, or Adonai, which is our Lord's, but our teachers, or by Sir or Lords by Lord, because of the idea that it was a single God. Mm-hmm. And this is where the whole thing mixes up, because even in Hebrew, it's very mixed when they change the word Adonai, which they believe it's a singular, but Adonai is a plural. It's a plural of Adoni. And instead of saying Yahweh, they say, because of respect of the name, they always mention Adonai. And this mixes them up completely, because they think Adonai is singular, and they, for respect for Yahweh Elohim, which is the most important of all the Elohim, they don't mention his name.
Right. So they created life on this planet. There's a lot of religions on this planet, and it's been a melting pot of friction from day one here on Earth. And there's been war after war after war over the years. I mean, and a lot of the wars are caused by different religious beliefs.
Absolutely.
Was that their plan? I mean, if they wanted peace on this planet from the outset, why wouldn't they just create one religion?
Well, I'm going to answer to that by telling you a little bit of Hebrew story. As you know, on the flood, they said, well, God wanted to destroy your life, etc., with the flood. Well, the Elohim, they saw after a while that their creation was a failure, that these people were very aggressive, they were killers, they were, barbars, they were hating each other, stealing each other, robbing each other, and they decided to destroy all their creations. After the flood, they sent some atomic bombs that destroyed the whole thing, except Noah and, the story. And something I mentioned during my lectures is that, there is no ship or vessel today able to contain so many animals,
Right.
so many species, etc., etc. Even today, it's impossible. So, as you know, being our creators, the Elohim, they have a technology which is over 25,000 years or more than us, ahead of us. And they can put all the cells in a little box because they know how to manage that.
Yep.
And this is what Noah took with him on a planet. And it's written in Hebrew, the planet, the ark went above earth and not above the water. It didn't float on the water. It says above earth.
Right.
Something that fly. Then, when after the flood, the Elohim received a message, not a spaceship, but some message from their creators saying, we have created you and you have created other civilization. Now we're getting very close to the sun and we probably disappear. Now, we let you progress, and you should let progress these people until they will be able to understand. So they decided to leave planet Earth, go to the planet, and stay there until we will be able to understand. Now, we have two possibilities. Either we understand and we reach a golden age, or we auto-destruct ourselves with all the bombs and wars, etc., etc.
Yep.
Because all the wars, as you know, and all the conflicts on earth started with religions.
Yes.
And everybody abused these religions, especially the Catholic Church.
Rael, he was taken on a craft the second time that they met with him. So he went to their planet.
They have two planets. They
Two
have
planets?
one planet where all the Elohim live.
Yeah.
And they have one which is what we call the Garden of Eden.
Okay. So did they reveal to him what system their planets are in?
No. They talk to him. They present him with other prophets that are alive on the planet that have been recreated after death. And many of them that have been taken, not many, a few of them that have been taken by the Elohim, like Hanok, like Moses, like Eli the prophet. These people have been taken alive, they didn't die.
So we're talking about people like Enoch.
Yes.
Okay.
Enoch, Moses, Eliyahu.
Okay. That's fascinating.
Just a second, Dean. I need to connect my computer because it's going to run out of battery.
Okay. Go ahead. Leon, what does preparing mankind to welcome the Elohim as conscious and grateful human beings mean?
Sorry, I didn't get it.
One of the message I was reading on the website, it said preparing. The ET said they're preparing mankind to welcome the Elohim as conscious and grateful human beings. What does that mean? Well,
we need to understand. We're able today to understand that these people are not divine, are not some people are not gods. We need to raise our consciousness to welcome this civilization, and to be ready to welcome them, we need to understand and raise our consciousness, because these people are full of love. They don't want to hurt us. They don't want to come here and invade Earth, because they can do it 100 times. They can come over anytime. And we are here just to be aware of this message and to welcome them with love, not in a warrior way or as invaders. Or this is why they don't want to impose themselves. They want to be invited.
Okay. Why are they coming at this particular time in history?
They will come between now and 2035. Because now we're able to understand. It's time we raise our consciousness and we stop killing each other, hating each other, and loving each other. And I think it's the right time, because I don't know if you have seen what's happening in Canada right now.
Oh, yes.
with all this in Ottawa. And I have been there, and it was just love, hugs, food for everyone for free. People were just, I didn't know people there. We were hugging each other. We were cheering with each other. We were shaking hands with everyone there. It was just pure love. And I think we started a world revolution among human beings, because we don't need these governments to impose us hate on each other and division on each other, on races, on religions, or whatever. I think we are ready to wake up and start being a real human beings. And this is why we need to be in that stage to deserve the Elohim to come. Otherwise, they will not. Even if we build a third temple to welcome them, they will not come, because we're still a bunch of, criminals. There are a bunch of criminals out there, a bunch of people that will kill because of their ideas, because of their religion, because of their hate to each other, because of the greed that they have between each other.
Right. Raising consciousness and love, it's a common theme. It's a common message given to contact experiences.
I believe. Yeah, these people are peaceful people. Well, they went through all we're going through until they raised their level of consciousness and they understood. Now it's time for us to understand.
Yeah. What about the governments of the world? Do they know that the Elohim are returning? And if they do, what kind of reaction have you seen?
Well, we have been sending files worldwide, and one of our leaders of the embassy project, Mr. Daniel Turcotte, which is a good friend of mine, he have been doing an excellent job sending these files worldwide, and I have been sending letters to all governments of Israel since a while, since many, many years, all governments, and letters to all deputies, members of the Knesset, and all that. They certainly know, like the Vatican knows, like many presidents know, the Elohim have created us. They don't want to mention that to the population, because people, first of all, are going to freak out. Some will revolt. Some will be completely out. And this will be a shock until people are able to understand. This is why we're lecturing and giving this message, and Rael have been doing a hell of a job since by spreading this message worldwide to welcome the Elohim and raise our level of consciousness, raise love on earth, and doing our best not that the humanity will auto-destruct themselves.
Yeah, you mentioned the Vatican. The Vatican has its own powerful telescopes that they monitor the skies with, and they seem to have relaxed their message on life other than being here on Earth. So you're saying that they know? Is this part of them preparing for it as well?
Listen, Dean, the Vatican, as you know, when it was destroyed, the first temple and the second even by the Romans, they took all the artifacts, all the books, everything, all the scripts that were in the second temple and in the first temple to Rome. Everything is there. So they certainly know, as the Bibliothèque, how do you say it?
Bible text?
Yes. Bible text and all the scripts from they're hiding in a certain place in the Vatican, and not everybody is allowed to read those texts.
No.
And I'm sure they know.
Yeah.
Like many presidents know, but as I said, they're not. The population is not ready to get that message because they're going to be completely, it will be a shock for them until we will be ready. And this is why more and more people are getting aware of it, and more people are spreading this message worldwide, because millions of people have read Rael books in all languages, and they're available for free anytime on our site, Rael, www.rael.org, as you know. And I mean, when someone reads these messages, they can't just say, well, I don't know, or it looks like. Some people understand and some people will not, because they have their roots, because they have their religions, because they have their faith. And, it's very hard, especially for Jewish people where I'm coming from.
Yeah. Yeah.
The fear of being wrong, the fear of not stop believing, because it's time now to understand and stop believe. I mean, especially with these lectures I'm giving in 4 languages, we have a lot of controversial answers, and we have a lot of people coming to the lectures. And this is fantastic, because I am proving by original Hebrew text, by the Tanakh, which is the Torah, that the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization. And I have been lecturing not worldwide, but in many, many countries for many years. And rabbis come, or people come, and they want to stop others to attend lectures, to attend our lectures. Why? At the beginning, I was shocked, because I said, I am inviting rabbis, and I will give a lecture in Hebrew on the same subject next Sunday. I am bringing here all proofs the Elohim are an extraterrestrial civilization and not a single God. Now, instead, if I was a rabbi and I had proofs of the opposite, if I was one of their rabbis, I will attend this lecture and will, with many other rabbis, and tell this guy is an idiot, he's saying no matter what, and here is the proof of the opposite. But instead of doing that, they come and they rent halls close to ours to make noise, and they bring buses full of children's Hebrew students to stop people from entering the hall.
Wow.
Why they're doing that? Why they're doing that? Because I can prove what I'm bringing, and I'm not inventing anything. I am bringing it, and I am proving it with original Hebrew books. And unfortunately for them, they cannot prove the opposite. So the only thing they can do is that
is disrupt.
Or I have been in Belgium, in Antwerpen, and I was surprised. Rabbis were coming into the hall and taking Jewish people out of the lecture. They didn't succeed to take many, but they came here. No, you're Jewish, you shouldn't listen to this. I mean, if you have something, sit down, bring your books, and prove that I am wrong.
Yeah.
But they don't do that.
So there's pushback within the Jewish community.
Of course. Because what's most important is that all the books in Hebrew are talking about Elohim in plural, and they even mention, as I mention it in my lectures, it is written clearly, they come from another earth, very far from the skies, Yahweh and all his elements of fire.
Right. Jesus always talked about, on his return, when I return.
Sure.
Is this what he was alluding to?
Well, when the Elohim will come, they will come with all the prophets of old, because these prophets are alive in the planet of the eternals. They live eternally among them. They deserve their place on their planet. And they will come with all the prophets, with Moses, with Buddha, with Muhammad, with Jesus. And that will be something, because if Jesus was today arriving and entering the Vatican, I'm sure they will arrest him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even if you say, I'm Jesus, okay, this guy is sick, let's put him in a hospital.
Mm-hmm. It's just strange to hear that despite the divide between religions here on this planet, between the Christians, the Muslims, the Jews, the Hindu, the Buddhists, yet the head figures of all those religions are all living comfortably together on another planet.
Oh yeah. All the prophets the Elohim have sent live with them. There are more than 40 prophets they have sent in the original Jewish religion. There are over 40 prophets, and all they come with the same message. What happened to them? All the prophets that were in Israel, that were sent by the Elohim, either they were jailed or killed.
Yeah.
So,
When Rael first met the Elohim and communicated with them, was it with telepathy, or was it with mouth?
No. Face to face. The same like Moses. It's written in Hebrew, panim al panim, face to face. They talk to each other.
Okay. Well, in the Old Testament text, there's passages in there where people couldn't actually look directly at God.
Well, they couldn't look. I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know. I have no idea. Probably they had something on their head that they couldn't breathe our same air, and we cannot go to the planet to breathe their air or whatever. It's we have different atmosphere.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what about the atheist community? How have they reacted to this news?
Well, yes, we have many atheist people that say, I don't believe in God. Okay, we consider ourselves atheists in a way, because atheists are people who don't believe in anything. This is atheism. And many realize after that we are not here just by magic or by God or by Darwinism, that we are the evolution or whatever. Some people realize and some not. But I mean, this message from the Elohim is not for everyone. I believe some people are ready to get this message and develop it, and some others are not and will never be.
Yeah. Provided everything goes according to plan, in 2035, and the Elohim come in their spacecraft, what happens to all the world's religions?
Well, I would like to see that in. Listen, if we build this third temple, or as many Jewish people mention as well, that the third temple will come from the skies. So if it comes from the skies, certainly it's not a building, it's something that is flying.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, we will build this embassy, which is a third temple. And when they will come, people, I believe, will be conscious enough, or our leaders of governments, or our leaders that will make another system different from the rotten one we have right now, will lead people to peace, love, and understanding. And people will be ready. Some, of course, will never be and will revolt and will. But when they will see the Elohim arriving, and if a country already accept to give the land with extraterritoriality to build this embassy, I mean, they will recognize Rael as their prophet, and they will recognize the Elohim as our creators.
Right.
If they recognize the Elohim as our creators, this means there is no God. The mystery of God is over. And people will be ready. Of course, there will be people that will revolt. If you have probably, I don't know, Muslim people or fanatic people from all religions. I mean, I'm not only Muslim. You have Jewish fanatic, you have Christians fanatic, you have Hinduism fanatics, and we have all kinds of fanatics. These people will, but they will be a majority or minority. I don't know. But what will happen there? Probably they will be able to understand, or they will kill each other.
I mean, it'll be something fascinating to see for them to arrive with. I think with all the prophets that they bring back with them, and then the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, the Hindus will suddenly look at each other and say, "Well, these guys are all hanging out together. What have we been fighting about all these years?"
The image they have given by painting Buddha or by painting Jesus or by painting Moses is not the same like they are. So maybe they think this is fake or this are miracles. People still need miracles to understand, Because at that time, the difference of civilization, if there is a civilization that is 25,000 years ahead of us, everything they can do for us is like a miracle. Because we cannot understand. These people are able, the Elohim are able to move a solar system from one place to the other. I mean, we have no idea what their technology is.
Yeah. Okay.
We have no idea. I mean, they can move asteroids from one place to the other. They can do whatever they want. I mean, they could come here and invade off all the planet peacefully, and everybody will be just like hypnotized, looking, and that's it. Nobody will be able to move. You know that you probably know that many tests of missiles and bombs were not able to be launched.
Yeah.
And everything was perfect, and they were not able to launch it. Why? Was it an intervention from them? Was something from them? I don't know. In the 6-day war that Israel delivered in 1967, many Egyptians and other Muslim countries that were attacking Israel, they surrounded. There were thousands surrounding to a group of maybe 200, 300 people. And they asked them why. They say, well, listen, you had thousands of people, and we had to run away, and we had to surrender. And they were, at night, we were in the Egyptian newspaper, still articles mentioning at that time, during the night, there were people coming up and down from stairs.
Yeah.
They were devils, they said.
So the Jewish soldiers couldn't see the Elohim there, but they were there protecting them, and they scared off their attackers.
Sure.
Yeah.
They were there. They're the ones that they didn't fight. I mean, they made like mirage or something like that people could.
Yep.
The enemies freaked out and they ran away or surrounded.
Yeah, of course, it's been called one of the miracles of that war.
Yeah, well, miracle. Well, everything that we can't understand becomes a miracle.
It is a miracle, yeah. Leon, just in closing, I just want to ask you a few questions. You've answered one about Noah's Ark, not being a boat, but an actual craft. So let me ask you 5 or 6 questions, and then we'll close it up. The first one, is death final, and do we continue living in spirit?
The body and the spirit are one. To live in a spirit, I don't believe we live in a spirit. I mean, our body and our spirit is one, and that's indivisible.
So we continue to live after death?
After death, what will happen is that people that have deserved it will be recreated to live among the Elohim on the Garden of Eden, which in Hebrew is Gan Eden, which could be the Garden of DNA.
Okay.
This is what we call Gan Eden.
Yeah.
Now, why they give him that name, that's another story.
Right.
The Garden of DNA, that's powerful. Now, some people that have deserved it, as I mentioned, and have done good for humanity will be recreated. Either they will be Raelians or non-Raelians. Every human being that deserves it will be created. Now, the others, when they're dead, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
There is no devil, there is no...
Well, that was my next question. Is the devil real?
Well, there is no devil. What we call Satan is a member of the Elohim, which is a leader of the opposition. Because there is a leader in power, which is Yahweh, and there is a leader of the opposition. And that's very good to have an opposition.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's proving, he always have tried to prove to Yahweh and his team that the creation the creation they did was not worth it to be alive. They see people suffering, they see people killing, they see people starving. They say, this is Satan that is saying why we should keep this creation suffering. Let's eliminate them, or let them kill each other with bombs, which we're doing right now, and they will finish with their they will auto-destruct themselves, even if they don't.
Yeah. Just back on the death question. I mean, I've done a lot of study now of near-death experiences and what they see, where they go after they die, and then come back. They talk about their spirit or their soul leaving their body and going to another place. I mean, is that something you believe in?
No, I don't, because before death, as you know, even if when the heart stops, the brain continue.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a clinical death. Doesn't mean the brain stop. The brain continue, and then this is a chemical reaction that happen. Like if you take a hammer and you knock here or somewhere in my head, that will be a reaction, an electric reaction. And then you see things. And this is exactly what happened. Everybody before dying completely have the same vision, have the same flashes, like, oh, I have been there and I saw my body from above, and then I went into a tunnel and the light was there, and all of a sudden I come back.
Mm-hmm.
It means they didn't die. They didn't really die, because someone that is dead is dead.
Right.
This is a reaction before dying.
Yeah. Do angels exist?
We have. I never lived this experience, but I guess everybody has.
Yeah. Do angels exist?
Angels means messengers in Hebrew. Angels are the ones that have been sent by the Elohim, and they come down with a message. Angelos, which is a translation in Greek, means messengers.
Right. Right. What about who are the false prophets? Are there false prophets in the world today?
Probably, but I don't know of any. There are many who believe they have been contacted, and there are many people just trying to convince others of, but I haven't dig into that, and I haven't met with any or heard about any actually.
Mm-hmm. Two more questions. Who created the creator? Who created the Elohim?
Oh, that's a very intelligent question, Dean. This is what we call in Hebrew Ein Sof, which is infinity. Life was always there and will always be there. It means we're gonna one day we'll be able to create life and put them in another planet, which is a chain of creation of life.
Mm-hmm.
Life always existed in different forms through infinity. It means when I was a child, I was at my grandmother's place where I live, and they had two wardrobes with two mirrors. And my pleasure was to look at myself. I put myself in the mirror, and I was looking always, where was the end?
Yeah.
There was no end, and there was no beginning. So this is the same. This is infinity. And this is what it's very hard for people to understand, and it's very difficult also to explain, because infinity, you feel it. You don't see it. You don't see it. You feel it through meditation and through other ways. And what's most important about it is that if there is no end, like Ein Sof in Hebrew, which is mean infinity, there is no beginning also. Everybody believes, a God created all this, but there is no God.
Mm. This is something that it just hurts my brain when I try and think about, who created the creator, and I keep thinking about, well, how did life begin? Not life on this planet, but life anywhere. How did it all begin? I mean, there must have been something before life began.
Well, let me explain this way. As you know, we're on the planet Earth, right? We're human beings living on a planet. This planet is on a solar system. This solar system is in a galaxy, and this galaxy is in a universe.
Mm-hmm.
And this universe is infinite. Now, if you take the molecule of one of our cells, it's an infinite, where there are galaxies, solar systems, planets, and life. It means our body is full of every molecule of our cells.
Mm-hmm.
It's a universe by itself.
Yeah.
So everything is in us, and that's the infinity small, and everything outside us is the infinitely large, which means we are probably living in a molecule of something that, or someone, or something that is alive, which is not a God. It could be a cat, it could be a worm. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
For us, 100 years, maybe it's like a breed of that thing that we're in.
Right.
Or that life where we're in. And for us, for the people who are in the universes of our molecules of our cells, one of our breeds of 1 second of our life is maybe 100 years for them, or 200, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I completely understand your explanation, but it's just mind-boggling to try and wrap your head around it.
It's very hard to understand it. Well, it's easy to understand, and it's hard to accept it.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the big question that everyone wants to know is, what is the purpose of life? Is this something that the Elohim themselves can answer?
The purpose of life, it was an experience.
Experiment.
Oh, yeah. It's an experiment. They created life to do an experiment. As simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And when we will create life, it will not It will start as an experiment, and then we will understand that if we are able to create life, and that will start with cloning. This is why governments don't allow anyone to create life. Yeah. But it started anyways. Either they like it or not, cloning will be, or it is already.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is the only way that we will be able to understand one day that if a human being can create life, there is no place anymore for God. So the mystery of God is over. Mm-hmm. Because if a human being can create life, this means we are probably being created by other people, and not probably, sure, by the Elohim, definitely. Yeah. Because it's written in the original Hebrew Bible.
Okay. Leon?
And this original Hebrew Bible, after I read it and I understood and I translate and I lecture about it, confirm exactly the messages Rael received from the Elohim.
Yeah. Okay, Leon, the message from Rael, that Rael received aside, you've gone through some thought-provoking stuff here that's probably going to get reaction from people. But I'm so happy you were able to sit down and talk with us, and it's just been a fascinating discussion.
Well, listen, Dean, if these people, you can arrange a Zoom meeting, I will be able I will be pleased to attend and give a lecture.
Okay.
And these people who are interested or have questions,
yep.
No problem, anytime. You can contact me and we can set an appointment like we did today, and I'll be pleased to be with you.
Okay. Leon, thank you for that invitation. Thank you for joining us. And
as I mentioned, our books are available in any language for free at www.rael.org.
That's Rael, RAEL.org.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Leon.
Thank you, Dean.
That's Leon Mellul and his incredible message from the Raelian Movement. Jacqueline Smith has never felt she belonged on this planet. At a young age, her mother told her she was different. She had heightened abilities that she couldn't explain, and her story is a very familiar one.
Yeah, a very lonely feeling like I did not belong on Earth, that Earth was not my home. And like many experiencers feel, I felt like someone had kind of dropped me off here. Mm-hmm. and took off, left me here on my own, was the feeling. And I had a lot to work through as a child and a teen in that with all of those feelings. I felt that I wasn't like everyone else, and I had these psychic abilities that I didn't quite know what to do with. And some of those abilities freaked my mom out. And so it's, it took me a while to really begin to understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling.
I mean, was your mum aware that she had been taken aboard a craft and while she was pregnant, and she knew how this all began?
I think she definitely knew on a subconscious level. She always said to me, "You're really different." Mm-hmm. But she did not have conscious memories. They had blocked those memories, I think, I don't think my mother would have coped very well.
Right.
Having those memories. So they actually blocked her from remembering that.
So you mentioned psychic abilities. So what other differences are there between a hybrid and an actual human?
Well, the abilities that have been enhanced with me, I've always been telepathic, and I've been an animal communicator for over 40 years. So it's always been natural for me. Telepathy always seemed natural to me, the most direct way of communicating, and why do we have all these words?
Yeah.
and so my abilities with animals, I can see, know what they're thinking, feeling. I can look through their bodies and tell what's going on. I can do the same thing with humans, and working with people as well. I'm able to tune into them at a really deeper level, at the soul level, as well as other levels. And also, as a child and later on, off and on, I'm telekinetic. So I've had experiences of walking in a grocery store down an aisle at times where the cans would start flying off the shelves.
Wow.
And light bulbs blowing out. I have to watch myself around my computer. If my frequency goes way up, I've blown out phones and things like that. So it's been interesting learning how to harness those energies, and my focus is on being of service.
Yeah. So with the animals, I mean, we often refer to as animals, I mean, they're just there for us. So they actually think. How do they think? I mean, do they think like us?
Well, when I communicate with them, they are sending out vibrations. So, and when it comes to me, my brain is able to translate those energies into words. But the animals are always communicating telepathically. We could say energetically. Of course, it's not in words like we have.
Yeah.
They're so much more in touch than we are, than humans are. They're aware of everything around them. They pick up all our thoughts and attitudes and feelings, and can be mirrors for us as well.
That's Jacqueline Smith with some amazing insight into hybrid beings. After this interview, you may even question your own makeup. Like Jacqueline, you may feel like you don't even belong here. Her incredible story is coming up on the next episode of the Aliens Revealed Live Files. You won't want to miss it. Thanks for being with us. Don't forget to check out our site at arlhub.com. That's arlhub.com. And as always, keep looking upwards and take care.